CIGTV News Update. I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us. This week, Premier the Honourable Alden McLaughlin will lead a delegation to the Great Festival of Innovation in Hong Kong, which begins this Wednesday. Premier McLaughlin in a press statement says, "Our group is attending as part of the United Kingdom's delegation. We are the only overseas territory to be invited to the Great Festival, and I'm honoured to attend." He added that the Great Festival therefore gives us an opportunity to support the Caymanian financial services firms in Hong Kong, as well as highlight Cayman's strength in financial services, luxury tourism, and innovations in health and Cayman's healthcare industry.
Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we have had two large business delegations from China and Hong Kong visit Cayman over the past 12 months. In addition, in February of last year, I and members of government met with the Chinese ambassador to the United Kingdom, Mr. Lu Xiaoming, to discuss deepening the relationship between China and the overseas territories. He also hosted a lunch for the Cayman delegation along with Chinese business leaders. This was in London, Mr. Speaker. At this time, he told us that the separation of the United Kingdom from the European Union, on the horizon, it was a good time for China to work with the UK and by extension the Cayman Islands to expand their mutual business interests. He also said that he would encourage China's business leaders to look to the Cayman Islands for opportunities to expand business cooperation. So, Mr. Speaker, keeping our fingers on the pulse of the Asian market is important, especially as we continue to do battle with the EU on the validity of the Cayman business model.
Premier McLaughlin also added that he plans to use the opportunity to meet and strengthen ties with business leaders in Hong Kong, and as such, together with the Financial Services Minister, will host a festival event that will highlight the Cayman Islands financial services business. The Great Festival is a third of its kind after the success of the Great Festivals of Creativity in Istanbul in 2014 and Shanghai in 2015. Its vision is to share innovation and create lifelong partnerships that will drive the future of free trade and prosperity. Meantime, the latest report from the Economic and Statistics Office shows that our economy is continuing to grow. Minister for Finance, the Honourable Roy McTaggart, explains how it impacts central government and the Cayman Islands.
Broadest way I can describe it is that the GDP, or gross domestic product, is the broadest measure of your overall economic activity. So when you get a GDP number of something like 2.4%, what it shows you is that your economy is expanding, that things are moving in the right direction. When an economy expands, that means more jobs in your local marketplace. It means that goods and services are continuing to be consumed. And if you take and you analyze the report, what you see is that the biggest contributors to that 2.4% growth are the hotels and restaurants, construction. And you look around about you see we had record numbers of stay-over tourism for 2017, and you see that the continuing expansion and boom that we're having right now in construction. So nothing really surprising. But in those two particular segments, what I found really interesting was that the report and all the measures that the segments that we measure, it was very broad-based. So it says to me that overall, the economy is really moving in the right direction and expanding moderately. So much so that our initial projections were for a 2.1 increase for all of 2017. We've now revised that upward to 2.4 for the year. So, we're doing quite well economically. I think that we, as a country, I would expect to see that the growth continue on into 2008, throughout the rest of 2017, when the final numbers are in, and I would expect to see that continue through 2018. I don't see any specific challenges on the horizon that would call into question the ability of the country to continue growing and development. But that, of course, is subject to world events that I'm not able to predict with any certainty.
And central government recorded an overall surplus of $115 million in the first 9 months of 2017. Well, finally, the 11th annual Cayman Heart Fund International Symposium was held recently. Each year, dozens of doctors and healthcare professionals from overseas and locally are invited to be part of the important series of discussions. Now, some topics this year included 10 points to remember about heart failure and current management of thoracic aortic aneurysms.
It's not just geared for doctors, it's also geared towards medical students. We do have a medical school here on island, as well as nurses and nursing students, because we do have a nursing school on island as well, pharmacists, physical therapists, and anyone who in any shape or form deals with the care of medical patients here in Cayman Islands. This year, we're hoping this changes for next year. The attendees are all from Cayman Islands. Perhaps next year we'll have some more regional presence, maybe people from Jamaica and other islands, as we are reaching out and as part of our mission to broaden the audience that participates.
Now, the doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other healthcare professionals who attended the Cayman Heart Fund Symposium specialize in cardiovascular disease and other areas of medicine. The information shared by speakers focused on the latest research, current technology, and advancements in cardiovascular medicine. Cayman Heart Fund organizers say the number of attendees continues to increase each year, but they would like to see some more persons from the region attend this important event. Well, if you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us, hoping you'll do the same again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.